Hi there, this is Frank, the CEO of Vyral Marketing. I have a wonderful interview today with Kari Kohler. She is about 50 miles west of Chicago in St. Charles, Illinois. She's been selling real estate for 12 years. She was a third grade teacher before that, and she decided to get into real estate. And from day one of getting into real estate, she got herself some very good real estate training, followed that for many years and sold quite a few homes in their market. I think there's about, Kari, 30,000 people that live in St. Charles?
Correct.
And there's only 8,000 single-family homes even available for sale?
Correct.
Right? So just to give you an idea of the market that she's in. And she did a wonderful job calling expired leads, FSBOs, her sphere of influence, working referrals, all your typical sales things you must get good at if you want to sell real estate without going broke when you're a beginner and you're starting off, right? But you actually came to my workshop it was about a year ago, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, I think it was April 2017.
About a year ago, Kari comes to my workshop. I did a one-day training event. They're now 3-day training, 3-hour rather, not 3-day, 3-hour training events. They're up on our website if you wish to come to one, where I go really, really, really deep on how to implement the official video marketing plan, which you can get a copy of it if you're watching this and your first time seeing this on the homepage of our website. If you go to getvyral.com, VYRAL, you can download a copy of the plan Kari is following. And the plan is essentially how to reconnect with your neglected database and how to communicate with your database at a higher level to get more people to call you, or at least in many respects, how to identify who you should prioritize follow-up with, because you can track who's engaging with your stuff. So I wrote this plan about 9 years ago, and we've built our entire firm on the premise of solving that one problem, is helping professionals, many of you real estate professionals like Kari, reconnect with, grow, nurture your number one business asset, which is the most often overlooked and neglected asset. It's your database. It's your past clients. It's your centers of influence. It's all those people you've been talking to. What are you doing to stay in touch with them and position yourself as an expert and do it in a way where you're not a pest. You're the invited guest. Like that one, Kari?
Yes, I like that, invited guest.
You do it in a way where you're the guest, and that means you're telling stories, and you're a journalist of the community, and you're publishing interesting videos through webcam just like this out to your database. So the goal today is I want to interview Kari, and she's getting very good results. Let's kind of go through really quick as an overview. You started with us about a year ago. Is that right, Kari? How long have you been a client?
Well, since June of 2017.
Okay, so just give us a little snapshot of your business then and your business now.
Okay, so I have really followed the Mike Ferry model, which for me, I really enjoyed calling expireds. They're my favorite people to call. So I spent a lot of time calling them for 11 years, and then for sale by owners, and then circle prospecting. And while my database are the nicest group of people and just wonderful people, the only time I would really connect with them is when I would see them in public or when I'd have a client party. So I really realized that, daily I am neglecting this wonderful source of people that could be clients. So what happened over, those 11 years is I then just continued to build this really, really strong database that I wasn't going back to and taking care of. So when Vyral was introduced to me through some other Mike Ferry people, it struck a chord. This is something I need so badly because I am neglecting this wonderful, wonderful group of clients.
That's great. So you implemented our plan and you got some benefit from it. Just share with the audience the benefit of doing this for 11 months.
Yeah, the simple benefit for me is I'm doing 2 videos a month with Laura, who's my account rep there, who does an amazing, she's amazing. She does an amazing job. And so I do 2 videos a month. They get sent out to about 3,700 people. They are, of course, my database, which is about just under 700 people. And then my Facebook friends, my LinkedIn friends, and just all kinds of resources like that I would have never touched if it hadn't been for Vyral. I would have never gone in, I just would have never taken the time to accumulate that big of a database. And Laura helped me with that. So these 2 videos get sent out to that big group, which we try to grow by at least 60 a month, at least. And right now in this season, it's growing faster. But what's happening because of that is my clients are calling me. You know, the people in my sphere of influence are calling me and saying, Kari, I just saw your video. You know, it's so funny. It just hit me. You know, we're just thinking about selling the house, and up popped your video, and it prompted me to call you. And that's awesome. After this many years of business, to have people calling me, I feel really privileged.
You know, I think if there's a takeaway already in this video and this interview, is that you have spent your time building a real list.
Yes.
I mean, you're not spamming a bunch of raw buyer leads that you're tricking to get their contact information online.
Right.
You know, these are real relationships you're building.
Yes, definitely.
So we're going to go into that today. We're going to talk about what you're doing to grow your list. We're going to talk about what you're doing to communicate with your list. We're going to talk about what you're doing to prioritize follow-up. I might give you some ideas of how to improve your current marketing.
Fantastic.
But this has been good for you. Have more people calling you.
Yes, it's the best. Can
you share with the audience the increase in your business? That I know it's hard to track exactly, but your business has gone up.
Yeah,
how much?
We've tried to track it as best we can. I mean, I would say it's well over 35% since I've started. And we're talking sphere of influence. Well, what I'm talking about with that is sphere of influence people directly calling me, and calling me. So that's the one that we're tracking right now. Is when somebody I met at my son's baseball game that we only spend 5 or 10 minutes talking, but they recognize me from coming to the game every time, and then they saw the viral video 2 times a month. That prompted them to call me when they were selling their home, which is like incredibly exciting. It's
a nice way where you can, when you're actually talking to people out and about, you can just be yourself.
Totally.
You let the videos remind people like, I have a job and this is what you hire me to do.
Right.
You don't have to talk about that like when you're at the baseball game.
Right. I love it. I love that is reaching so many people. And, an example of the baseball game is maybe somebody that I wouldn't have had in my database because they weren't necessarily clients before. So because we've, done an outreach of people that I know and put that into the database, that has created so much more business for us.
That's great. So let's go ahead and start. I really want to cover 3 things in the interview today. I want to know what you're doing to grow your list, because this is working for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a client watching this, you want this to work better for you. If you're a prospective future client for Vyral Marketing, you want to ensure that when you hire us, this actually works. Pay attention. Okay. So let's start with, you said you add, well, first off, what I hear a lot of numbers with database. Oh, I have 17,000 people in my database. What's the definition of somebody in your database? Let's get that definition clear.
Okay, so your database that I talk about, 3,700 people, I do not all know those people.
That's basically every email we have that it's okay that we can communicate with through email.
Exactly.
Like an email list.
Yeah, and there are people on LinkedIn, a lot of business people I've never even met. But that we do share ideas and things like that.
Sure.
But my just under 700 people that is in my database that I work with the most, those are all people I know. Like if I would see them at the grocery store, I would recognize who they are. So we've had a relationship.
So you have the people that you know, and then you have the people arguably that know you.
Correct.
So
yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, the database of the people that you know. You have 700 people. That's a lot of people.
Yes.
And you would say the other list is maybe people arguably that know who you are.
That's correct. That's a great way to put it.
Got it. Okay. So you're trying to add 60 people to the 700 a month?
Yes.
Wow. That's going to go up very quickly.
Yes.
So let's talk about how you are adding 60 people a month to your, essentially I call it your real estate newsletter. Because that's what you send them, right? Your videos,
yes.
We'll call it a newsletter. All right.
Yes.
What are you doing, and who are they? How do you get their contact information? What do you say? Walk us through that.
Okay, so I'm a little camera shy, but when I'm in a networking group, I'm not shy at all. So I spend a lot of time, introducing myself, asking people about who they are, letting them tell me their story. So, even in a grocery store line, if we're stuck in a line, I will turn around and talk to the person and just, it's my job. It's a contact sport. So I do my best to talk to as many people as I can a day. So in growing that, that's my intention every day. That's what my Mike Ferry real estate coach is working on. He's like, he's just huge on me building this database also. So it's my intention daily to do that. Of course, it helps with kids because we have sports teams and this, that, and the other. And then I carry about 40 listings, every quarter. So we get a lot of leads also. Mm-hmm. So I do when we get those leads and I put them out to my buyer's agents.
They're calling from your signs.
They're calling from our signs or from the website.
Those are good leads.
Those are awesome. Yeah. They're awesome. We we really do get about 2 a day with all the listings that we carry right now. So because my buyer's agents are interacting with them, I put them in my database. And then when we have our team meetings, we talk about them and, I know what to say when I call them to follow up.
Got it. Okay. So you have people you meet out and about, and then you have all the people calling you about your listings.
Correct.
What are some other sources of the people that you are talking to invite them to your newsletter?
Well, the new clients that we get through my expired calls, through my for sale by owners. This is something we're taught in the Mike Ferry system, which is to adopt the other side in the transaction.
Well, the other, you can forget about them, so take them on.
Take them on. So we do that too. And, I sell so much in my community that, we're just like a full service team. We deliver a great deal of service to our clients. So I end up interacting with them a lot, even before they closed often, because we jump in and take care of problems all the time. We're problem solvers. So I adopt those folks also.
Great. Okay. So 60 people a month.
Yes.
One of the things I'm rewriting actually is I'm working on rewriting and upgrading the official video marketing plan.
Okay.
It's been on the website for years, and it really hasn't had to change much because the principles stay the same. But there is one thing I'm going to add to that is really necessary. I don't think you really know about. I didn't cover my workshop.
Okay.
So one of the challenges we see with clients when you get your 60 names is chances they don't get the video from you maybe until a week, 2-3 weeks later. And
right.
What? Huh? Like, how do you put this? They don't really remember, why am I getting this?
Yes.
So the way that you combat that is, how like when you're online and you opt into something, put
yes.
information in, you immediately get a confirmation email, don't you?
Yes.
So what I'd like you to do is inside Gmail or Outlook or whatever you use, there's add-ins that allow you to have like email templates.
Yes.
You can like throw in like a templated email into your Gmail message, if you will, really quickly.
Okay.
I'd like you to have a confirmation email ready to go to every person that you talk to. That says, yes, let's stay in touch.
Yeah.
Say, great, let me add you. You add them to your database, but then you just very quickly click insert confirmation email into your email marketing program. You click send.
Okay.
That email should have your picture. It should have search for homes. It should have your reviews. It should tell your story. It should make you look like super awesome. Like, wow, I just spoke with that person?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That needs to go out immediately once you get off the phone with somebody.
Okay.
And you'll find that the open and click rate of your database goes up because people will remember who you are and your next message goes out.
Okay.
And you'll also find the click-through rate and people replying to that email alone is the highest of anything in internet marketing, is the confirmation message.
All right. Awesome.
So I don't know. That's something I want to share with you.
I like it.
So you should send out 60 confirmation emails to say, here's who I am. I'm excited to send you my content every single month.
Right. Awesome. I will do that. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's the thing I'm adding, and that really works. It's just, it's one more thing you have to remember, but it's a huge leverage piece of getting good results when you're adding people to your list. Yeah,
it's fantastic. And I think I heard in one of your interviews like this, you guys talking about, sending thank you notes too, to people that, hey, it was neat or fun to meet you. And so that's, just another piece, another touch like that.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
You can go much further on that. So in the Keller Williams world, Gary Keller wrote a book where it tells about the lead generation model, where you have like this 33 touch where you're in front of your database like 33 times a year. Like it's a much larger amount.
Right.
Than what you were previously doing 4 times a year.
Yes.
He also said, like, once you meet somebody, there should be some way to like really establish the relationship.
Yes.
Before you throw them into your 33 touch. And he recommends you touch them in every way, like for 8 weeks.
Okay.
You know, like once a week for 8 weeks in some way. So basically what I gave you the confirmation email is like the first touch.
Yes.
You know, and you can go so much farther as to send them a handwritten note next, and then you go into a phone call. If anyone's interested in that model and you're watching this, go pick up a copy of the, hang on, do I have it? I don't think I have it here. It was over here. Go pick up a copy of the the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, and take a look at the lead generation model.
Okay.
And it really talks about, you meet somebody, you bring them into your database. Oh, hey, that works. This book.
Oh, that's a good book.
Yep, very good book. Yeah. So that's what you do.
All right.
The first touch of your 8x8. Let's get that in place for your subscription confirmation reminder.
Yes.
All right. Wonderful. Now, it's interesting. So you talk to people who you've never met, and you have a conversation with them, and they actually say, yes, here's my email address, stay in touch with me?
Well, sometimes. You know, I mean, a lot of times I keep bringing up my kids, but that's where a lot of business has been drum up is, these
all the kids events.
Yeah. It's amazing. So I'm paying for their college this way. But a lot of times it's just, I get to the game and they're like, oh my gosh, Kari, how's the real estate market? And it just leads into this conversation. And then I'll say, well, would you want to know, in your neighborhood, what's selling? Do you want me to set you up on a search so you can see what's selling in your neighborhood? And they're like, yeah. And then it's easy. What's your best email? So I try to do lead-in situations like that. If we're going to spend 10 minutes here talking about real estate, like it would be nice to continue to keep you informed.
Good. Yeah. You're just helping people.
Yeah. Helping people. Right.
Yep.
Right.
When you talk to your team, because you have a team of 6, you said you have a licensed ISA.
Yes.
A couple of administrative people, and then you have 2 agents?
Yes, correct.
The goal would be is not how many emails you collect so much as how much permission did we get this week.
Okay.
So you
all
want to
right.
track like how many people said, yes, I want to hear from you going forward. And that is a huge performance metric to track.
Okay.
In addition to like your dials, contacts, appointments.
Right.
I would add in dials, contacts, permission appointments.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah.
Did we gather this week so you can track your goal of those 60 emails?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Cool. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit now. I think we understand how you build your list. You're just very social.
Very social.
Good.
Very intentional about that.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. So let's move on to creating content.
Okay.
So you said you're camera shy.
I am camera shy.
Which is interesting. You came to my workshop understanding this was you have to get yourself on video and start creating content.
Right.
So, you know what? I want to step back. Before I get into that, let's step back even further.
Sure.
You came to my workshop, Mike Ferry trained for many, many, many years.
Yes.
And it makes sense because, Mike Ferry doesn't want to confuse, a new agent. He wants to give them certainty of what to do and says, this is what you follow. When you follow, you get results. He doesn't want to complicate the message with, Facebook and database, all this other stuff. Right?
Yes.
But you were open to something new. Tell me what changed in your mind from following his teaching for a long time, which is excellent, that you were open to complementing it with something like us.
Yeah, well, I just noticed from following his teaching that my intention to, grow my database was very strong. And then my database got really big and really strong. And, I'm lucky in that I happen to sell in a market where the average price is $450. So the homes are very nice. The commission checks are, large. And I sell a lot in the high end. So, people around me, other Mike Ferry agents and people that I cared about, were saying, you've got this gold mine that you're not doing anything about other than, when you bump into them at a kid event or something, they're like, you're missing a huge chunk of, helping the people that trust you and love you. And, you're not servicing those people like you should. So that just kept running through my head. And then Mike Ferry has actually started to really focus on sphere of influence. My Mike Ferry coach, who is absolutely outstanding.
Well, there's not very many expireds now.
Yeah, so he's changing a little bit. You're right.
You have to.
And my Mike Ferry coach, who is so outstanding, I try to do everything he says, although it's, it's mind-boggling what he wants me to do. It's all good stuff. But he has pushed me to work on my database. So I kept hearing from people I cared about, you've got a gold mine here. Mike Ferry's changing his intention a little bit. And I was just like, totally open to this idea when I heard about it then. Because, and you mentioned the camera shy thing. Poor Laura had to work pretty hard on me because like my first, I think like 7 videos, I just did audio. Like I just had my picture on the screen and I didn't even get on the audio, but she kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me.
That's really good. So you start with the audio to get comfortable.
Yeah, and my friends would email me and they're like, we want to see you, and so they were pushing me. Laura was pushing me. I'm like, all right, I just got to do it. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
So you were mailing your database 4 times a year though, right?
Correct.
And you wanted to step it up. Why'd you want to do more?
Well, that is that's good and that's consistent, but I want to be better than good. And then, sometimes when you're in the thick of your business, you're not evaluating it like you should. And then when I started hearing from other Mike Ferry agents and people that I cared about kind of give me that feedback, like 4 isn't enough. Are you kidding me? Look at all these people you have. Yeah. I started to think, oh gosh, 4 really isn't enough. I mean, you think of how busy we are now and how our minds are going a million miles a minute. Over 12 months, I'm only mailing out 4 things when I've got the other thing is I'm lucky enough to have these beautiful homes that I'm marketing. So, I mean, when I send something out, it can look spectacular and be eye-catching. So it just seemed like it was the right time to really beef it up.
Cool. Great. So back to your videos. You started with, which is very remarkable. You knew you hired us and you paid us and you said, I'm going to do this, but I'm not ready to jump on camera.
Right. Right. Yes.
And we just decided to do basically podcasts, like a traditional version of podcast audio.
Correct.
And it was still content that we would send out.
Yes.
I'm sure people still consumed it.
They did, which was really, really nice. And I tried to make them short and sweet and, informational, educational, but I did not want to get on the camera.
What made you get on camera?
Laura kept pushing me very gently and kindly, but she did it well with my personality style. She did a great job. It's
for someone who's new to video, looking into a lens and talking can be very intimidating.
Yes.
So I cannot think of an easier way to ease someone into that world of speaking into a webcam like this.
Yes.
And especially having someone on the other end interview you.
Right. Yeah, right. It is easier.
We interview you, and then we cut ourselves out so you have your own video.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly what she did in the beginning. Yeah, she was right there. That's right. And then a lot of times I wouldn't let her send it out, and so I changed it into an audio.
Sure.
So, a little frustrating out of the gate.
So when you record your video, you use the webcam that you're using now.
Yeah.
But we also, your audio is improved. Why don't you show everyone what you use to get better audio and what you do?
That little microphone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because right now your audio is coming through your webcam.
Okay.
So I'll show the audience really quick here. So
this thing.
This is essentially what you sound like coming through a webcam. You can certainly hear me, but it's very different, isn't it?
Yes, very different.
And then when you use a microphone, it sounds more like this.
Yes.
But you probably don't want to be on camera with a giant Call of Duty.
Right.
That's what this thing looks like.
Yeah, that would really throw off my camera shot.
Or you don't want some giant microphone in the frame. So what we do is you lav yourself up with a little lav mic, right?
Yeah.
And you turn on an audio recorder that records it right into that recorder. See? Let's here. Let me pull up on the screen here. Perfect. So you have the lav mic that goes right into the recorder. And then you just press record, and it records right to that audio recorder as an MP3.
Yes.
Right? You sit on down.
Okay. And believe me, if I can figure out how to do that and send it to Laura, anybody can.
Yeah. So what it does is you send us the MP3 of the audio, and then you send us the video file, and then we match the audio in editing.
Yes.
And that prevents you having to record audio through your computer because a lot of people's computers aren't strong enough. and the audio will it look like a kung fu movie. The audio won't match what you're saying.
Yes.
But good. Where could someone go to watch your videos? What's your web address? Where's your blog? Where do we host everything?
I think, I'm sorry that I don't know the answer to this well right now. I think it's Kari Kohler, the Kari Kohler blog, I believe.
Sure. Or just Google, you'll be up. I should probably know that. They don't have the actual link here. They didn't put the link here in my notes.
It's the Kohler Group blog.
The Kohler Group blog. Got it. Okay. So you schedule, what, 30 minutes a month to record 2 short videos with us, which we coach you through.
Yes.
What are you finding are the best topics and the things that are most relevant to get your database engaged and watch?
The market stats. I get the most calls back and emails back on the market stats. I'm trying to keep them shorter and maybe 2 statistics that I think that the sellers or the buyers would find important. That seems to be really good. I do work for some really high-end custom home builders. So I've done, the advantages to buying new construction. That seemed to get really good audience participation with that too. I did a staging one. That one seemed to do very well. Laura said that I get about a 20% watch rate on the videos, and she thought that was pretty good for the market, for comparing how these are doing as compared to other folks.
And how do you come? Isn't that hard? Like you're in the middle of a workday and you got to sit down and record a video and come up with something to say. How do you do that?
Well, okay, so Laura gives me ideas. She'll send me a list of like 10 different ideas, and then she'll also give me links to other agents that have done that. I have to admit, I watch some of the other agents across the country that I really, that I'm friends with and so forth, and look at their ideas and, put it towards my market. But usually I've gotten a lot better at it now. If I'm shooting it on a Wednesday, late afternoon on Tuesday, I'll just start digging into it, and I'll tell myself I'm only taking, less than a half hour to put the material together. And then tomorrow I'm only going to take less than a half hour to put the video together. I know people do it much faster than me. I'm just so darn picky about everything. So if you're not so darn picky, you could do it much faster than I do. Sure. And camera shy too.
Sure. I'm very picky too. I enjoy shooting my videos.
Yes.
I'll go and do the final edits, and there's a creative outlet of it.
Yes.
I enjoy.
Yes. And then in accuracy, you want to make sure you're not, you're speaking really clearly. And I saw Michael LaFido's interview with you because he's in my market too. And he was talking about how funny it would be to actually show some of the videos that like you stop and start.
Yeah.
And I understand that because I do that all the time.
Cool. All right. So we talked about building your list and how you do that and how you get permission. We talked about you record 2 quick videos a month. That was really more of a personal development challenge than anything.
Yes. Like. Yes, definitely.
Right?
Yes.
And then you really have 2 things that hopefully happen. One is people call you.
Yes.
That's the best. Or 2, you get the information of the people who are watching the videos, or at least clicking the links in your emails.
Yes.
And you could use that information to maybe prioritize follow-up in some way because they've been recently engaged with you.
Yes.
First, tell me about the inbound calls and people calling you.
Okay.
That happens?
Yeah, it does. It does. Wow. It happens. And what's exciting about it is, they'll be like, Kari, we just saw your video. It prompted us to call you. We want to get the home sold. That's the best. Yeah. So I get those, which is exciting. And we've sold several that way, more than several. So it's been very, very good that way. And then other people will just call me and say, hey, loved your video, or hey, get your face on the video, or, just anything, just kind of something funny. And then I'll get a lot of emails throughout the day when I send them out. Great video today.
Just like replies?
I think it's more, well, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is replies because the subject is the same. Yep, it is replies. Great video today. I'd like to, or maybe they ask a question like, how's the, if it was on staging or something, they might say, how's the market? Is it picking up? And it's fantastic interaction with people.
Good. The outbound calling. You get your open and click report, right? The people that open your emails and click through.
Yes.
Do you use it all as information to prioritize your time?
Well, I'm working on that. Now that I have an ISA, which is fantastic. I mean, he's only 1 month into it. He's doing great. But now that I have an ISA, like my goal is to work this database like it is a gold mine. And it is. And I need to perfect my skills and get better and better and better at it. But to answer your question, I do my best to put that time segment in to call those people that are looking at it and just saying, oh, I hope you enjoyed the video. Are there any real estate questions I can answer for you? If I get their voicemail, I might just leave a quick stat about, how the market is improving, which is a exciting stat here in Chicagoland because it's been a challenged market and we're just seeing an improvement now. So it's fun to, be able to call with good news.
Good. Well, let me give you the audience a couple tips here and yourself. I think calling the open and click report has been a challenge for many because it's a different type of call than calling it expired. So I have our website up now. I'm on the blog page where you can go on Get Vyral. Here's me and my show. But over here, you see where it says phone calls live? I'm going to click this. And Scott, who's my business partner and friend, by the way, best friend, he spends an hour a week calling your open and click reports for you. And we do it live and we broadcast the conversation on Facebook. Yeah. And you actually see the dials, contacts, and leads he generated. And here you go, 39 dials, 4 contacts, 1 lead. Here's another one, 18 dials, 17 contacts, 1 lead. A lead being, I want to speak with you. I have this person call me back about real estate. 28 dials, 8 contacts, 4 leads. And you can watch all of these and you hear both sides of the conversation. Scott's like literally calling live and broadcasting it. He has a high standard because with call recording laws, you have to say, hi, this is Scott. I'm calling on behalf of Kari. I see you subscribe to our videos. I just want you to know this call is being recorded and monitored. Is it okay if I continue? Yes. Great. Boom. So if you have any interest of watching those or have your ISA watching those, I think it'll give him some pretty good insight how to make the calls.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That is a great tip. Yeah.
They're fun. Yeah. Just say, go watch all of Scott's shows for a day and it'll be good to go on how to have those conversations.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Yep. So good. All right. So now a couple things that we've added to the program, including your fee, that I want to kind of get the word out a little more about is some very limited, very narrow scope Facebook advertising, specifically boosting your videos to your database. So we can actually take the emails of all of your contacts, upload them to Facebook. And then when we post the video on your business page, we just click the boost button, put a couple dollars into it, and make sure we boost it to your existing database. It gets more people on Facebook to see it in your list.
Yes.
And then on top of that, you're going to have a lot of people visiting your website. And I would consider that a pretty good list by itself. I mean, this is somebody for some reason had the intent of checking you out to work with you.
Right.
And it wouldn't be a bad idea if we could somehow pop up magically on their Facebook page.
Yes.
If they've recently visited your website saying, hey, I'm here, call me, message me, communicate with me.
Right.
Have we gotten any of that set up for you?
We have. Laura's working on that.
Good.
Yeah.
Because there's Facebook advertising and all that stuff is very hit and miss.
Right.
You can generate a lot of, crap.
Yes.
You get a lot of leads, but it's all bad leads.
Right.
You still have to go through 100 people to find the people that's going to sell.
Yes.
Which I would argue you probably just call 100 homeowners and find someone who wants to sell. Why go through Facebook?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But when it comes to branding and really getting in front of a very target audience to stay top of mind, I recommend boosting your database, your videos out to your current email list, which you can do on Facebook because you can take a list of you could take any list of emails, Kari, upload them to Facebook, and if the person on Facebook uses that email in their profile, you can run ads specifically to those individuals. Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So why not do that?
Why not do that? Absolutely.
If you happen to have any emails too of because they don't have to be permission based.
Okay.
It could be just any email list you grab. Whereas you can't do that when you're emailing.
Right.
Like if you have a school list of schools, an HOA,
yes,
those types of email lists, throw them in there too.
Okay. All right. Great.
100%.
Great.
Right?
I remember you talking about that in Omaha. There was so much coming at me at the time that is.
No, absolutely. So just think about, what emails do you have access to? Who do you want your really videos in front of the right people?
Yes.
And make sure they're included in that custom audience, they call it on Facebook, of your email list.
Okay.
And they don't have to be permission based. It can be any email list you can add ads to.
Excellent.
And then making sure that we run some ads. We run an ad with an offer to call you to anybody who visits your website, and that's including your fee. No extra charge. You just pay the $5 a day advertising cost, if that.
Yeah, I think Laura's done that for me at least 2 times.
Good.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Then the other thing that we've added in, which I think is more important than ever, especially with many of the forces competing against the real estate commission, the real estate agent in the industry, is the importance of developing allied resources and strategic relationships with other business owners in the community.
Yes.
They all have databases.
Yes.
Okay. So if you can co-create some content with them, if you interview them, if you do something with them,
yes,
they'll share it with their list, and it could be a good referral source for you.
Yes.
And in many respects, they'll even pay you to be included in your blog. Like, a lot of people.
Right.
We have clients at zero cost. They're $550 a month because they have maybe an attorney and a financial advisor paying $50, and you advertise them on your website and you include them in your videos or something like that.
Right. Yes. So that's a great idea.
We talked a little bit about that. Are you open to maybe becoming a little more of a journalist in your area, more or less? Is really what I'm asking.
Okay. So what would I be responsible for?
Oh, okay. All I'm saying for your videos is you have a really good assistant there. What's the name of your assistant?
Hannah.
Hannah.
That's awesome.
You should go out and find a business in your farm and say, hey, I want to go out and interview the business owner.
Okay. Yes.
That's it. And have Hannah hold up the camera and interview the business owner.
Yes. That's
for one of your topics. And the ones that get the most engagement for businesses are restaurants.
Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. The Food Network, where just everyone wants to see that. Food does really well on social media.
Awesome. Yeah. We've got great restaurants here in St. Charles too.
Yeah. And even interview your home builders.
Okay.
Interview your mortgage people. It's just an idea. I know it's more work. You only have so many things you can focus on.
Right.
But just remember, the blog doesn't have to be just you all the time. You can bring some people into it.
Yeah. No, I like that idea. Yep.
Cool.
So that's the journalist.
Yeah. It's kind of like, you start off as like, I'm just going to cover real estate.
Right.
But you can operate a little more higher level where, you know what, I almost consider my blog like a community newspaper.
Yes.
And I'm going to go kind of cover what's going on in the community.
Yes. I like that.
Yeah. And you start interviewing businesses, you start going a little more out and about, you build a little more confidence, and you start, I would just say interviewing businesses is a great place to start.
I think that's awesome. One time I did why move to St. Charles, and we went out and just took a whole bunch of gorgeous shots of St. Charles. I think that one did pretty well too.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's nice to have for transferees coming in then too. You can just shoot it to them. Yeah.
And what's really nice is with those types of videos, it's about like efficiency and speed where, your job isn't to be a full-time journalist. Your job is to sell real estate.
Right.
So you would go just record the video where you talk about it.
Yes.
And then have your assistant grab lots of pictures.
Yeah. That's
and then we'll edit in the photos as you talk to make it real easy.
Yeah. That is perfect.
That's all. This is what I think about.
Yeah.
We have people with good results with that. Mike Lafito, by the way, took it to a next level. He gets a group of business owners together once a month and does a little business mastermind.
Oh,
and that's how he gets a lot of his leads, because he'll have like a really high end, a car rental place in there, real high end theater installer person. And you said you run in the high end, right?
Yes.
Think of all those vendors that sell to the affluent.
Yes, exactly.
Include them in your videos. They would love you.
Yes.
And Kari, and I say this and I mean it, you're one of the most successful sales and marketing experts in the world. I mean, that's why people pay you a commission, is because you bring sales and marketing advice.
Thank you.
Do you think with all the stuff you learned from me and all the stuff you learned from Mike, you could help a theater install guy?
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Do you think you can help a guy that sells, rents exotic cars?
Yes, absolutely.
I see a monthly business mastermind in your future.
I do too. I love the idea.
Hold on, because I have in your notes. Hang on. that your goal is to do 1 million GCI, sell 100
Yes.
homes, and coach more.
Yes. And improve my skills.
Improve your
Yes.
skills.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
So just some ideas.
I love it.
All right.
Yes.
So we can go ahead and wrap this up. Let's why don't you tell the audience, can you maybe summarize what Vyral has done for you? And not so much our done for you service, but the concept of you've made this jump to stay in better touch with your database. You started getting yourself on camera ever so slowly with audio. I love it. It's great. Right? What has this done for you in your business as well as your life?
Well, it is launching my business, and I think a lot of people share what my concern was with my database. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me, but I was concerned. Am I going to be able to do a good enough job for the people that I know? I mean, I know they trust me. I know they like me. Am I going to be able to do a good enough job? But then year after year after year, when I was selling so many homes and getting top-notch coaching, I mean, of course, I'm going to say it's the best in the country.
Of course.
And then meeting people like you, I'm like, there's nobody I know in my world here in St. Charles that focuses more on improving their skills. So therefore, I am the best served to take care of the people that know and love me and trust me. So I am just absolutely thrilled that now I have a vehicle to reach these people, these, obviously the 700 that are in my database that I know, and then to expand that each month, and then Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm just like so happy and honored and privileged to be able to give these people content and education, to get in front of them twice a month. And then to be able to see, if they've watched the video, then to be able to have that direct lead in to call them. And it makes it for such an easy call. Oh, thanks for watching my video. Do you have any other questions? I mean, it's so easy. And then you get to find out about how they're doing and how you could help them. So I hope I'm answering your question, but what I'm most excited about is I get to service the people that know and like me and trust me. And I can do it. I feel very good about my skill level and what I can offer them. So it's a great package. I get to work with, I love my jobs. I love to work with these people. And now I can put the two together. Yeah,
you're not having to win over strangers all the time, all day long.
Yes.
You're dealing with people who know you, which makes the business easier, more enjoyable, more fulfilling.
It really does. And then like what you said about the business meeting, I mean, I love things like that. The old teacher in me that used to teach, I mean, I know how to put those kinds of things together and to format that.
I'm telling you, that is in your future. You're in the high end.
Yeah, thank you.
You know marketing and sales. There's a ton of people that sell to the high end that could probably refer you high-end buyers and sellers.
Yes.
Of those vendors. And you just getting them together once a month to share some business ideas will blow their minds. I see it.
Yeah, I see it too. Thank you for the tip.
Yeah.
I'm going to run with it.
Good. Well, that's all I got for today, Kari. I think that was wonderful. Thank you for sharing all your tips. And if you enjoyed what Kari shared today, you can go to our website, getvyral.com. On the homepage, you can download a copy of the official video marketing plan that Kari is following. This will also be up under the results tab where you can watch all these other different interviews with many real estate professionals, mostly real estate from all over the country, of how they're challenging themselves is what you're doing.
Yes.
Challenging yourselves. I challenge you to get in front of a webcam and become a better communicator. That's really what this is. I mean, when you started off as a third grade teacher, and you had to teach class and probably deal with the parents and to communicate with the parents. And then you got into real estate. You're probably scared to death of prospecting and scared to death of doing a listing presentation. You became a better communicator with that.
Right.
You were probably scared to death of building a team.
Yes.
And having to work with a team, and you got better at that.
Yes.
And then you're like, you know what? What's the next step? I need to become a better communicator using media, where as opposed to it's one-to-one, it's one-to-many, and you got better at that. It's who you are.
Thank you.
So I challenge those of you watching this, get better. Improve yourself, and you'll attract more business to you than having to chase it. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Frank with Vyral Marketing. Kari, say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Kari,
thank you.
Kari, I apologize.
That's fine. No problem.
We'll see you next time. Thank you.